Today, I want to talk with you about that feeling you have when you're overwhelmed, you're stuck, you're upset, and it just doesn't feel okay to be that way, to be upset. You don't feel okay about not being okay. I'm Missy Hughes, and I'm a productivity coach. I help you follow through. Part of following through is understanding what's holding you back, why you don't want to follow through in the first place. So go to the comments of this video and use the link there to my calendar to schedule your free consultation to understand more about why you're not following through right now. So I want you to think about a situation where you feel out of whack, where you've got something to do, a task that needs to be done, but you can't get started. Maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you're upset about things that are happening outside your life that have nothing to do with the task. Maybe you feel just blocked about how or why you're doing the task. You feel disconnected from it. During all of this, you just want to curl up and get away from it. You want something soothing, a nice blanket, and just to escape from it all. So at the same time, there are judgments rolling through your head. You notice you want to escape and you're judging yourself. Statements like, "You're lazy. Why can't you just get it done? What's wrong with you? Just get started. You're never going to get this right." These kind of thoughts roll through your mind, criticizing you for being where you are, kind of stuck. Have you ever felt overwhelmed and then judged yourself for it? I want to hear about your experience. Share that with me in the comments. I read every one and I want to see what you're feeling and going through. So, when you're judging, you're definitely not feeling understanding about your block. You're definitely not feeling accepting of your struggle. You're not feeling compassion for yourself when you're not taking action. Instead, you're feeling maybe even more stuck and maybe even broken. I want to teach you how to see yourself in that moment, even when you don't feel okay. So, the way you know you're there is you want comfort instead of the action. Anytime you're like, oh, I have something I should do, and you think, I'd rather go have a snack, or I'd rather not do that. I'd rather grab a screen and scroll through some social media. I'd rather catch up on that show I'm also behind on. I would do anything that's unrelated to the task that I feel like I should do. Sometimes you may do tasks that are totally unrelated, but they don't get you doing the task you have said is important. It gets you away from it. So whenever you're trying to get away, you know you're in that place. So you might tell yourself, I'll start in a minute. Let me just do this thing first. Or maybe you panic and you like bang around doing something else unrelated with like rushed feelings and urgency. Both of these tell you that you're not okay with the task that you've said is important. You're not okay where you are right now. If this resonates with you, like this video so that more people can hear this message. So here's what I want you to do when you're in those moments where maybe it's a little thing, maybe it's a big thing, but either way, you're not getting started and you feel unease. I want you to ask yourself these questions. Number one, how am I not okay? What's going on with me? What's actually happening right now? Number two, what am I feeling? Number three, why do I feel that way? You're just going to ask yourself these questions and see what comes up. Number four, what thoughts am I repeating? And I just want to say, as a side note, whenever we're in this space, these thoughts are going to be like replay. They're an old movie. You've seen them before. This is not a creative space where you're like coming up with new ideas and seeing amazing new scenes in your mind. These are like old, stinky videos that you just don't want to see anymore. um, so, so what thoughts am I repeating? Number five, where does this pattern come from? Why am I in this pattern? You'll be surprised at what your brain can give you. Just give it a minute to think about it. This gives you awareness. How does it make sense that I feel this way? You can start building some compassion. What do I need right now to see myself through this moment? Not to get out of it, but to see myself through it. So I'm going to give you an example of something small, maybe that happened with me that gave me a whole lot of insight into how I get into this state of overwhelm or just not taking action. So there was a situation when I was a small child where my dad came into the room and he was very angry. I have no idea about what, it doesn't matter. But he was just started this loud yelling. It was just this burst out of nowhere to me, seemed out of nowhere. The next thing that happened is I started crying because I was surprised and scared by it. The next thing that happened was my mom sees me upset and is angry at my dad. So dad yells, has nothing to do with me. I'm upset. I'm scared and startled. Mom sees me and is mad at my dad. So she was probably having a whole lot of other experiences, but this is what I experienced is her seeing me and angry with my dad. She was in it thick, right? But this is where I experienced it as a small child. In this moment, here are the decisions that I made. Number one, I have to stop crying. I'm not okay not being okay. It's not okay for me to be upset. I'm adding to the situation. I've got to stop. Number two, I've got to calm my mom's anger by me stopping crying. This situation isn't my fault, but I've got to fix it. Number three, the people in charge are off the rails. I can't trust them to take care of me right now. I have to take care of myself. Now, listen, you may think this is a lot for a small child to think. And it is, I want to tell you, this is what I've pieced through later by looking back. I don't think as a small child, I was consciously thinking any of these things. But as I look back, these are things, this is not an unordinary situation. I've definitely gotten angry and yelled about something before. It's not like things were being thrown across the room. It's not like people were being hurt by other people. This is not what I would call a traumatic situation. I would call this normal life. However, when we're young, we're making imprints and it had an effect on me. Whether it's like, oh, I can point to that exact thing that makes me feel like I got to fix everything, that makes me feel like I have to be like da, 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 happy for everybody. It doesn't matter. It probably happened more than once, would be my guess. So I probably got the reiteration that if I were upset and I stopped crying, people probably calmed down around me. So that probably happened over and over and over again, reinforcing that idea. Um, my guess is that when you are feeling upset, when you're feeling frozen or stuck, you probably don't feel like it's a big deal that's holding you back. Maybe the task you have to do isn't even a big deal. Maybe it's a little thing, but you're still procrastinating it. You're still pushing it away. You still are feeling like, oh, I just can't right now, or tomorrow, or the next day. Right? Sometimes it's a little thing that we're experiencing that triggers that stuckness, that I'm not okay right now. Sometimes it feels like a big thing. Sometimes it's like a whole bunch piling on top of us. But what I want to offer in either of these situations, our brain goes to this place where it's sort of surviving. It's like, oh, if you don't feel safe to just do the thing you said you were going to do, there must be a problem happening. We must be under some threat. And then we start judging ourselves. And so the brain's like, yeah, well, that is a legitimate threat. It makes sense that I feel threatened or sort of defeated, because I'm getting this criticism. So you may not be in a situation where the world is falling down around you, but when you start acknowledging the small situations where you don't feel okay, where you don't feel grounded, where you don't feel ready or motivated to take action, when you start to acknowledge that, you can start stopping the criticism of that. When you aren't so critical and you take yourself through these questions, you can start to sort of understand what's happening. Then you start opening up to compassion and understanding instead of judgment. You can start to create the feeling of safety and groundedness. So I want to take you through the questions that I was asking myself as I look back. I'm going to take you through that same scenario and ask those questions and show you how this plays out. So in that moment when I was crying and it wasn't okay for me to be crying, I was adding to the chaos of the moment. How was I not okay? It wasn't safe. Now, I say safe, and I want you to understand me. It wasn't safe to me. It didn't feel okay to me. Was I actually safe? Yes. Was I in any danger actually? No, I wasn't, but it felt like that to me. And I want you to understand that too, because you may not feel like you're in danger, but when you're stuck, it sort of does trigger that danger sensation for your body. So how was I not okay? I wasn't able to express my feelings. What was I feeling? Startled, scared. Why was I feeling that way? There was anger and yelling around me. What were my thoughts? I've got to fix this. I've got to make this okay. What did I need in that moment? I needed to be able to cry. I needed to be held and said that it's okay. You're safe. This isn't a dangerous situation. This is actually just part of life. And it's not a great part of life. It's not what we want. It's not the ideal. No one's looking to lash out in anger, but it does happen. You're okay. You're safe. It's okay. It's not perfect. So when you go through and you ask these questions and you give yourself space to sort of explore what's going on within you, you can start accessing that compassion instead of judgment. You can start to create the feelings of safety and groundedness. You're seeing yourself in the situation. You're starting to understand why you might be stressed in whatever situation you're in. So to hear those questions once again, number one, how am I not okay? What's going on right now? What am I feeling? Why do I feel that way? What thoughts am I repeating? Where does this pattern come from? Have I seen it before in my life? How does it make sense that I feel this way? It may not, sometimes we're like, logically, I should be able to just go ahead with things. But when I take a look back and look at the pattern, maybe I can see how it makes sense that I feel stressed. What do I need right now to see myself through this? Do I need to take a deep breath? Do I need to make a list of what's happening and just start to get detailed about the situation? Do I need to take a lap around the house just to clear my head and then get back to it? What do you need in this situation? So subscribe to this channel so that you can keep getting these weekly updates on how to follow through, and make sure that you use the link in the comments to schedule your time to see what's happening for you. When you're not feeling okay, I want to help you see why you're getting stuck and help you figure out what you need to move through that. I'll see you next week.